What up, everybody? Welcome to the Fortnitemares edition of Tuesday Night featuring Fortnite, presented by Fanatics. Hello. My name is Jump. I'm joined here by the beautifully bisexual Mr. Jamerson. How you doing today, sir?
I mean, 20-inch pythons, by the way, but still a little bit disappointed because I thought we were supposed to come in matching costumes. And, I thought we had our synergy on point. We said we're going to match, and it is Tuesday Night Fortnite. So
What's wrong? There's literally... You can literally buy the same exact thing. Cuddle
I
Team
could
Leader?
have.
Why
I could have. I thought
be
we
a
were
Cuddle
going
Team
for a
Leader?
Fortnite theme, but,
This is a Fortnite theme. I'm literally your Cuddle-Bear leader. What else can you expect?
But hopefully our contestants today have a little bit more synergy than we do here at the desk. But we'll see. We'll see.
We're going to have to figure it out. In the meanwhile, we know you guys have been coming each and every week, but if you're new here, this is Tuesday Night featuring Fortnite, where it's all about duos and the challenges. We've got streamers, we've got NFL players, they're coming together, and they're going to be going after points because that's the name of the game.
Yeah, you see it there. We have 75 minutes of regulation play, and during that time, you're trying to rack those up. You can get it a number of ways, right? First is, of course, getting the Victory Royale, which gets you 150 points, and then up down to 5th place, which gets you 25. But you can also rack up eliminations, which is 15 points each, and those rack up really quickly. But we have one more bonus.
It is. It's not just about the kills. It's not just about the placing. It's about the objectives with the challenges. Now, remember, we're going to split these up into 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. We've got 3 sets of objectives to vote on. The current first 3 are voted. They are live now. And we've even included some little Fortnitemares things. We got some crossbow kills. We've got the cube tower, as well as just killing the cube fiends and doing the do that you do every single time. Not only do we've got the Cube Fiends, not only do we have Fortnitemares, but we also have to make sure that we're highlighting these because it's the players that are playing in Thursday Night Football in the following weeks. You saw Oakland as well as San Francisco play last week. They will be playing this Thursday. And now it's the Carolina Panthers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers on tonight's Day Before Halloween, All Hallows Eve broadcast.
Yeah, so you have to remember that these matchups aren't just random matchups. These are, of course, the Thursday night football matchups that take place. You can watch it on twitch.tv/Prime Videos. And so we've got the results in, right? And so far, the results from Tuesday Night Fortnite don't quite translate into Thursday Night Football. We're 1-3 so far.
Yeah, we don't want to say that it's bad juju if you win on this and then you lose the next week, but there's an opportunity. We were in week number 5. We've got a couple weeks left. You guys, it's okay. But they're not just playing for fame. They're not just playing for glory. They're not just playing for bragging rights. They're also playing for charity. Each and every week, the players that wins will then get to select a charity that they end up going towards. Week number 1 ended with Jay Ajayi going for his own foundation, which provides resources for at-risk communities at large.
Yeah, and then, of course, our week 2 winner, Pew, is going to be sending off his charitable donation to the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania.
And then week number 4 is going to go to End Slavery TN, which is the Tennessee org for Trent Taylor.
Yeah, it promotes healing of human trafficking survivors and also helps to end slavery in cases in Tennessee. So that's a great foundation.
Well, we've got ourselves the charity aside. We've got ourselves this aside, and it's time to get excited because we've got some really fun, really high-octane players. Some surprises, I'm being told, that even we don't really know about when it comes to these specific duos. But we've got some pretty interesting. We've got Cameron Sutton and It's FearItself, which is our first duo. We're actually going to hop into an interview with them just now. Cameron Sutton and FearItself. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great. Excited. Thanks for having me.
It's going to be fun. And it seems, Cameron, seems like you decided to be a little festive today.
Oh, yeah. I had to dress up for a Tuesday Night Fortnite. It's definitely a special occasion. Playing with FearItself, a.k.a. Fear. We're Fear the Groove. Fear the Groove.
Fear the Groove? Is that your guys' team name? I didn't even get to ask the question. Name. All right. I like it. I love it. Now, Fear, we'll go ahead and kind of start with you. You've had your time in the spotlight playing, a lot of Fortnite. Everybody knows your skills, kind of the names that you've been playing with. What's it like being a part of this broadcast that we have here with Fanatics, as well as getting to play with the NFL players such as Cam Sutton?
I'm super excited for this. This is the first time I've ever done something like this on the Fortnite platform. I play with big time streamers, but this will be my first playing with a professional athlete and doing it for charity. So anytime you could jump on an opportunity like this,
Right.
I had to take it up. I'm super stoked, looking to catch some dubs, fear
Yeah.
the groove.
For sure.
I'm excited.
And Cameron, actually on the opposite end, so Fear itself is actually a champion himself. Back in the
Right.
day, he played Halo. So how does it feel now that you get to play with a professional championship gamer?
It's amazing. Anytime you can, indulge into an experience like this, and obviously playing with Fear and a well-known name, a well-known gamer in the gaming world, it's definitely an honor and a privilege to do that thing. And then we're also playing for a bigger and better cause of a charity of our choice, and looking forward to working together with him, coming up with some great strategics and some good style of gameplay, and just get, like you said, getting some dubs and taking care of business out there.
Yeah. Now, final question over to you, Cam, as well. You guys find yourselves with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe you guys are 4-2-1 right now. You guys play Carolina next week. Is there any foreshadowing of how these games are going to go and how next week's going to be for you guys and the Steelers?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's only a trickling effect. This is just the beginning. This is just the Halloween Tuesday Night Fortnite edition. We got Halloween tomorrow. Everyone's excited. Myself and Fear is excited. We're going to take down our opponent tonight. Curtis, tonight, I'm sorry I have to take you down like this, but it's only going to lead into next week. And, that's just the confidence that I have in myself and Fear as well. And we're excited and we're ready to go.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. We'll check in with you a little bit later, but in the meanwhile, good luck to you guys on your Fortnite matches.
All right. Thank you.
I like the confidence.
I do. I like
love
the confidence. And, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but what I really enjoy about this week specifically is, one, the confidence. Yeah. Two, this is the first week where we actually have players that are playing against each other that have an opportunity to play each other on the opposite side. Cameron Sutton is the cornerback for the Steelers. Curtis Samuel's a wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. There is an opportunity that they end up actually being across the mark on the field as well as they find themselves across here in the games.
Yeah, just the way it worked out for the last 4 weeks. We've had either like both defensive positions or offensive in each week, and we haven't seen an actual face-off on the field yet. And so this is the first opportunity where they get to go head-to-head before they go head-to-head on the gridiron.
It is. Well, let's go ahead and check in with team number 2. We've got Curtis Samuel, the Carolina Panthers, and Upshall Games. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Now, Upshall, we've been seeing you around. You're a streamer for Obey. You've been around the Fortnite scene for a little bit. We asked this question to Fear, and we're going to kind of throw it to you. What's it like, kind of having this experience playing with an NFL player and doing something like this on Tuesday Night Fortnite?
It's awesome, man. Getting to help out, play for charity, dude. Can't ask for anything else.
Now, here's the thing. We were talking about this before the show, and this goes out to Curtis. You're relatively young. You're 22, I believe. And right now, we're seeing a lot of these gamers trying to have to make the decision. Do we want to go into gaming? Do we want to go into sports? How did you come to, going into sports? And did you ever maybe possibly consider going into gaming yourself?
No, not too much. I didn't think gaming was that serious back then when I first started playing video games. But I just play video games just to stay out of trouble, keep my mind focused a little bit.
Nice. Now, we kind of talked to this a little bit about Cameron. Cameron was very confident in the fact of there's going to be a win for their team. They called themselves Fear the Groove. Their team name. So now we've got to ask you guys, have you guys thought about a team name or what you guys are going to call yourselves coming into this setup today?
Yeah, Upshall, go ahead, tell him.
We're going to go with Team Easy Claps.
Ooh.
Team Easy Claps. All right, Easy Claps it is. Well, guys, thank you so much. Good luck to you guys. We will check in with you a little bit later. But for that, hope you guys get some eliminations and take down those cube monsters.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, I'm wondering if our production can get the clap emoji. So it's not just easy claps. That's the word spelled out, but it's easy claps.
That's it.
Just to drive home the point.
All you need is just the clap emote.
Yeah.
Just that's their team name. That's
exactly.
all you have to worry about. Now, team, a few words as opposed to the overly confident Cameron and Fear. And I think this kind of plays into Curtis's mindset a little bit. He's come on, he's starting to get more repetitions on the field. I believe he played something like 40% of the snaps last week. So he's kind of getting his repetitions, he's getting his time, and he's just down to go about the grind and see if he can get himself out a win, which kind of goes in style with Upshall's play style.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, it is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, right? Because we are talking about a seasoned competitive veteran in Fear Itself on one end, and Upshall Gaming, who is mostly, for the most part, a streamer. But the thing is, there are lots of different ways that you can try and strategize around that, right? You can just go for hard resets off the bat. You get your eliminations on a really heavily contested point of interest, get those eliminations, rack those up, and try to keep that momentum going.
And that's a strategy that we've seen, really been employed. And there's also the strategy of making sure that you get the 100 points for the objectives. Speaking as such, the rounds for first set of objectives is closed. Get a trap elimination, or elimination with a trap, as you can see on there. Now, the next 3, both players dance together in the disco ballroom while real dancing into the webcam. Get a golf cart to the center of Loot Lakes. Accumulate 50 cube monster eliminations. So some quite interesting ones in that second round. Remember, those are live. You can vote on them right now. The extension below the screen gives you an opportunity to do so. We will close that after the first 30 minutes. And I like this one. The trap elimination, it's not too hard, not too difficult, and pretty capable.
Yeah, I think the hardest part about it is, of course, just trying to find a trap. But once you do, you have to go for it, right? And it's pretty simple. You just build one by one around someone, throw down a trap, hope they have less than 150 HP, and there you go. You've got the knock.
Easy clap indeed. But now, is it the easy clap, or is it going to be all about the... I can't even handle you with those arms right now. You're literally...
It's so big, it just goes onto your camera.
It's so puffy.
Yeah. I feel like George Michael from Arrested Development, right? I get it.
All right.
All right.
Arrested Development aside, your 36-inch pythons aside, let's talk about predictions. Who's it going to win today?
Oh, I'm going to have to give it to Fear Itself. He's just an old-time gamer, right?
It's a cop-out.
It's the cop-out. No, it's your pride that's telling you that you're not going to take him because, yeah.
I can't do it. I grew up a Peyton Manning fan. I grew up in, I didn't grow up in, but I grew up as a fan of the Indianapolis Colts. And if you're a Colts fan, you're not a big fan of the Steelers. So I'm just going to have to go with my gut here, go with my old-school pride, and it's going to be the Panthers, Curtis Samuel, and Upshall Games that are going to take it away.
Telling you, Fear Itself, man. He's been playing with Ninja. He's been playing with some of the greats, some of the most well-known streamers in Fortnite, and he puts up numbers. And that's what matters here. We were talking about 15 points per elimination, and when you have, just the sheer frag capability that Fear Itself has, he's going to put himself on the board, and in a big way.
It is, but you got a Panther. That's all I'm going to say. In the meanwhile, guys, all of this is being made possible by Fanatics. It's the one-stop shop for everything that you can think about when it's professional teams. Let's go ahead and hear a little bit more about them.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
You heard it, officially licensed everything. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all of your favorite teams and players you love. Now, we're going to get into the match pretty shortly. They are loaded up. We've been told they are into the lobbies, and it's time to get themselves onto the field, the battlefield, whatever we call it. Have they come up with a collective name? The Island.
The Island.
The Island.
Yeah. Not the island from the Lost.
If you could call it any, now you have to have alliteration. If you could call it any island, what would it be? I would say the Illustrious Island.
Illustrious Island?
Illustrious. It's one of my favorite words.
I like that.
What about you? Has to be an I.
I was going to go with, I honestly don't know. You got me. You're
supposed to be more creative than
I should be. But no, you just put me on the spot, and now here I am.
It's the fake biceps, man. You're taking brain cells. Your brain
the
cells
blood's
are leaving.
flowing all over, not to my brain at this point because there's too much muscle, and I'm too big.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about strategy specifically with this. Now, we have to remind you, we are playing on Fortnitemares Edition. There is regular squads available in Fortnite right now, but it is the event-only mode for duos. So with that being said, it kind of changes the strategy a little bit. If any of you have been playing Fortnitemares, you've both been excited as well as exhausted from the cube monsters because they provide you extra perks such as item and weapon drops, as well as shield every time you get the kills. But come late game, they're everywhere. Building is impossible.
And also, if you don't find yourself a hunting bow, if you don't find, it's loud. You make a lot of noise when you're trying to get those. Luckily, the pickaxe will go ahead and take out the level 1 fiend with one shot.
Take out the big boys,
but not the big boys, and especially not the gold boss.
Have you gotten the gold boss before?
Oh, we got him in 5 times in one game.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's fun. But now it's time for Fortnite. You see Team 1 on the left. It's Fear the Groove with Cameron Sutton and Fear Itself. And then on your right side of your screen, it's going to be team number 2. none.
Easy claps.
Easy clap. Curtis Samuel and Upshall Games. 75-minute timer has begun. Let's see where these guys are going to want to go.
Yeah, honestly, though, I love how Cameron has just, like, gotten completely into the spirit. At first, when we were doing pre-roll for this show and I was looking at his preview, I thought he just, like, busted up like a statue, a mannequin or something. Now, that's him. That is his game face. He is stone cold, just concentrated on this game.
I'm also just in love with everything that Cameron Sutton is wearing right now. We have not yet had a player full commit to the Fortnite the way that Cameron Sutton is, and he already gets a, I wish we could, I know we can't do this because League Ops in the back would probably kill us, but he should probably get a 10-point advantage just for dressing up in costume today for the Fortnitemares edition.
Now, they are dropping Fatal Fields here, and it doesn't look like anyone's around them. There's no real hurry to try and get anything. But Fatal Fields has changed just a little bit for Fortnitemares, right? There's been some minor changes where the stable has been turned into like a haunted house.
It is.
And that you also have, of course, a corrupted area nearby and plenty of zombie spawns.
And not only that, but you've also, in a very interesting turn of events, you find yourself. Oh, did he?
Oh.
Did he do it backwards, or did he just
misplay.
Did he just want to keep the 50?
That's the misplay right there. Big
Here, we were
shield
just talking
before the
about your
minis.
professional skills.
Now,
But
one
no.
thing I do love actually about this map is that like a lot of the rooms are just like this, where they like pulled it out of a horror movie.
And they also increased the chest spawns in every single area.
Yeah.
It's not the standard. You kind of have a little bit of RNG on if the chest is going to spawn or if it's not going to spawn. Almost every chest spawns each game in these rooms. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to be able to create yourself a lot of different weapons. And they kind of did this as well in line with the fact that you're going to get those epic and legendary weapons once you start facing the cube monsters. So it kind of negates that a little bit if you don't decide to actually fight them.
Okay, so while Team Fear the Groove went for the Fatal Fields drop, it looks like on the opposite end, Easy Claps, they went for a more centralized location, going over to the Floating Islands.
Floating Islands, a fun place that everybody thoroughly enjoys to just go die at because it's terrible and I never want to drop there, and yet all my squad mates decide to drop there. If anybody has been remembering from the Floating Island that has been following around for the almost 2 months now?
Yeah,
it's
Kevin?
crazy.
Yeah, almost 2 months now. It ends up being a situation where it's now apart, it's split, you still have a lot of loot drops, you still have a lot of areas, but now you've got this just giant hole in the middle of the loot lake.
Now, of course, Team Easy Claps have already taken the early lead. They got one elimination so far, which makes you wonder, where is that person's friend? Was it a solo? But hey, early 15-point lead, you take that, and you get the good loot too.
Now we can see they're just building themselves up the shield. Reminder, if any of you haven't had a chance to kill those cube monsters, do so. They aren't as scary as you might think. They do also give yourself some shield.
Yeah,
it helps out a whole heck of a lot. Now, looking over at Cameron Sutton, FearItself, they've been pretty communicative. They've been talking about their moves. They still are having an opportunity to get themselves kind of fully kitted up in Fatal Fields. So let's actually take a listen and see what their conversation is as the strategy haps up with 47 players left remaining.
It's true. Could kill zombies for the other 50. What's that noise? I'm just gonna kill some zombies.
All right, just before that, we heard them actually talk about how their shield split kind of happened, and they said, hey, we could just get the other 50 from the Cube Fiend, so it's fine. You know, and that actually works out for them because that means that, look, Fear itself has 9 mini shields onto him, and so that's a resource that he can carry around with him instead of trying to have to manage a full shield and the minis at the same time in his inventory.
And this is where FearItself kind of can listen to what we have to say and just be like, you're wrong. You're wrong, casters. I know what I'm doing. All right.
It's still, it's just still that 15-point lead.
This is the slowest start in the first 6 minutes that we've seen in the first 5 weeks. Teams are kind of playing for themselves in positioning, and I think this also speaks a lot to kind of Upshall as well as Fear's kind of play style. They are high-level elite players, and as a result, they're not used to kind of taking the Tfue approach or the Nick Merckx approach in a lot of ways and just kind of
drop tilted,
go super aggressive, try to get the kills. They know it's important to win, and it is very important as you win. 150 points. We don't really highlight this enough just because we've seen a lot of teams die so early that they don't have enough time to do so. But it's huge if you're able to get yourself that 150 points, but it's the kind of risk that you find yourself playing with the amount of time that it takes to get that.
Yeah, also a fun fact for Upshall. So you don't see, of course, like the Xbox or the PlayStation emblem by his name, but he does play with controller on PC. And, you know, Fortnite is one of those games where we've seen that there's a lot of parity between the console players, between controller players, and keyboard and mouse. And so I've seen some of this gameplay, and you know what? He is a quick builder. He is a great aimer, too. And he also has body Nick Merckx.
And the macros, too, that you kind of think about as well. You take a look at his keybinds, what he puts on his axe. It's actually that center touchpad that you have on PlayStation. So it's a little bit different, as now we actually find ourselves in the first big engagement, as Upshall's going to be able to get a little bit of a muzzle rather, to be able to go through and get himself one piece of it down. But now he's going to have to try to see if he can build up and get onto somebody. Looks like his teammate's building up as well, so that's a good effort. 62 on the shield, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, so he did get that one knock, but will he be able to secure that elimination? It looks like a third party is also coming in. Remember, this is duos here, and there's another knock. So this is a potential for eliminations. That's going to be 60 points on the board for them very shortly if they can finish this all off.
Great little bit of effort for them. And there's the cube monsters that we were talking about, being the ones to wreck your day and annoy everything. And a little tech that you actually saw Upshall kind of do in this instance is something that is much newer on the current iteration of Fortnite, in the sense of if you actually build yourself 3 stacks high, you can jump off and reactivate your glider, which creates a very big opportunity as far as repositioning goes and just creating a little bit of a better distance if you build up and they try to knock you down.
It's called the Tim buff.
The Tim buff, yes. Tim the Tapman buff, for any of you Tim the Tapman fans out there.
Oh, no. So, luckily, this is one of the first circles, so it doesn't tick for that much. We will get Samuel back up. They've got a med kit to get him back in. And, of course, mobility is the name of the game now in Fortnite. So, again, even though they're caught in the storm, build 3 up, just use your parasol again and get right back out. And now they are 60 points in the lead up against Team Fear the Groove.
Yeah, and you have a lot of repositioning and a lot of distance you can travel. You can see Upshall kind of just building up as high as he can. It's not the fear that you had in earlier stages, where if you had a jump pad, you just have to hope that somebody doesn't shoot you down. In this instance now, it gives them a good opportunity. But let's actually go ahead and listen into them as they get themselves out of the storm and have themselves a nice reset.
Yo, come on now. There we go.
I got another full pop for you too, if you need one. Once you get in.
Yeah, I probably will. Can I? Oh, okay. Wrong button. How far we gotta go? Sheesh.
Hella fire, man. We're getting screwed by bubble right now. We can heal up though, and then we can probably ramp again.
I need some mats.
Yeah.
Come on, give me some streamer loot.
Streamer loot. Let's go, baby. Yeah, we're screwed for mats right now, man. People burn them all, right? Building these huge ramps now. I get like way less loot.
Let's go.
You gotta go.
Come on, auto run. Just run. Let's go, default skin. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Run. Run. Alright, this default skin got some speed.
She got that quickness, dude.
I wonder where she gets it from. Oh, my bad. She gets it from me. Don't worry about it.
Alright, I'll wrap this up here a bit. Damn, man, the mad struggle is real. I feel like this every game this season, man. Just like, oh shit, there's a fight over here. I don't know if we take that or not. It's pretty deep at a bubble.
Yeah.
A lot of points for getting top 5, so should probably just run.
We still haven't found. I haven't found out one. We have a
Trap? Nah.
Next time we gotta have more people laying on island with us, man.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it.
Easy kills if people land there because you can just blast them with the AR, but nobody dropped. Alright, I got a big pop for you when we get in.
Yeah, I'm here.
God's plan.
There we go.
Appreciate it. See anybody?
Nah, I'm just shooting a zombie. Man, this lobby is dead, dude. Holy moly.
Yeah, can't find nobody.
All right, well, finding themselves up a little bit of strategy. You can hear the jest as well from Curtis. He's starting to get comfortable with his teammate. And you still find themselves in a lead. They haven't gotten any kills outside of the ones that they had earlier, right outside of Pleasant. They've now found themselves almost all the way over on the other side. But taking a look and see what we see now from its FearItself and Cameron, it looks like they're finally getting themselves a little bit of a fight. So that 15 points is going to jump now to 30.
Really getting themselves on the board. But you heard Upshall before we left that.
Actually. They actually got themselves another kill on that. So now they find themselves only 15 points behind. Top 15 situation.
But we got to bring up the point, right? Things have slowed down a little bit here in Fort Nightmares. With this update, players are finding it that much more difficult to try and find these eliminations, especially early on in the game. So even though they've basically played out almost an entire round of a game so far, they're only sitting at 4 eliminations and 3 eliminations respectively.
Yeah, you heard it say it from Upshall of this lobby's dead. It's not necessarily that it's dead, it's just players are finding, like we said, a lot harder time actually getting themselves to different parts of the map because they're trying to fight off cube monsters. You find yourselves in a lot of these like skirmish situations because unless you have a hunting bow, or the fiend hunter bow as they like to call it, then you don't find yourself in a situation where players can't hit you.
But that does mean they get themselves ever closer to the placement points. Remember, if your team places 5th in the lobby, that's at least 25, up to 150 for first.
Risk versus reward in a lot of those instances is now you can actually take a look on the other side. Both its FearItself as well as Upshall find themselves in a little bit of a skirmish situation. We actually could take a look over here at Team 2, Curtis, Samuel, and Upshall. A nice little glider in to try to see if he can get something. Lots of damage being come up. He's got plenty of ammo, so he can pester along the moor, but he doesn't have a lot of mats. He's only sitting at about 800, as now he's going to try to be able to help out his teammate as he just barrages down with these bullets.
Yeah, Samuel is just on top of someone right now who is just building, but he's beset on all sides. The Cube Fiend coming in, getting that assist for them, so that's going to be another 15 points on the board here.
Kill, or was that the actual Cube monsters that ended up getting the kill onto that? We might actually have to get confirmation, but it looked very close.
Oh, yeah, he's on me.
Now, they do have another opponent here. There was a third party, it seems like, getting in on this. There's only 5 other players remaining in the lobby. So there's still a possibility that they haven't placed top 5 yet. But it's very likely they have at least 4th or 3rd at this point.
Lots of mobility coming out of Upshall, understanding both the ability to reactivate that glider as well as everybody's favorite grapple gun as he tries to select a couple peek shots from somebody on the other side. Is now he's going to try to see if he can help out his teammate a little bit. Curtis Samuel's going to do everything, but he's running away from the Q monsters. This was the difficulty that we were talking about a little bit earlier. So now he's going to try to glide over. He does have the grapple gun to reposition if he so needs to, but instead it's going to be ping 1, ping 2. He's going to be able to pick up that kill.
Good jacking our kills, man.
For his team.
Yeah, I think you might have been right about one of those eliminations. There's only 5 on the board for Upshall, and I believe that Curtis Samuel has 1. So that would be 6, and that puts them at 90 now.
Yes.
And so, at this point, with 4 other players remaining, they're very close to getting that victory royale, but also on the opposite end, Sutton and its FearItself, they're getting close to the end game too.
Yeah, they've got themselves now in a top 15 situation, top 10 to be exact. 5 kills are still in the hands of FearItself and Cameron Sutton. You find themselves with 75 points. Now, this is a situation where kind of the expert skill as well as the experience that Fear Itself has can really play into this. They find themselves pretty matted up, so if they find themselves in a difficult situation, they can essentially section themselves off, find them in a good spot. They can see building on the far northeastern side of themselves of Tomato Temple.
Yeah.
So now it's just trying to move themselves into the circle away from the storm and see if they can get some easy picks.
And also, you just saw Cam Sutton actually take that Chug Jug. So they have full health on both players. They have excess shields in the 10 minis on Fear right now, and they're looking to rotate in and get this third party onto this. There's 6 other players in their lobby right now. They're very close to securing, of course, a top finish, at least 5th very shortly.
Yeah, they're not top 5 just yet. They don't have the statistical, technical breakdown of it, but thankfully they know somebody that's in there. He's going to try to break down the building with the heavy sniper. Lots of white damage. He's going to be essentially 1 shot away.
Oh,
he's got the trap.
Yep.
This is important for him. He needs to be able to get that trap go. Oh no, the Q monsters block it off. He's going to have to try to see if he can get himself into the building, because this is, again, 100 points and would put them pretty heftily in the lead if they can be able to do so.
There it is.
There we go. There it is, the kill that they were looking for. The smiles complete.
All right.
And it's not just, of course, the 100 points, but it's also the 15 from the elimination. So it just compounds on each other. Now they are 100 points in the lead up against Easy Collabs. And I don't know. I don't remember seeing if there were traps in the Team Easy Collabs inventory. Hopefully, though, they'll be able to get it. It does look like they do have it on both players, but they just got themselves another eliminations. So they're going to be closing this gap, but they need to get that bonus objective.
Yeah, they're pretty close on this point. You can actually take a look at Upshall's screen and what he sees. I believe it's 5 players left remaining, so they're going to be on the meanwhile on the other side. It's top 5 for the other side of the mark. Like we said, we saw Upshall and Curtis here. 5 players left alive. He's already got himself 6 eliminations. Healing himself up the campfire.
They're at least in 4th. 3 other players in the lobby. If they're all solos, they're at least 4th if they get wiped here.
Guaranteed 50 points. That's a great situation for them. They're going to see if they can try to kill off these Q monsters. It's the empowered one, so it makes things a little bit more difficult, but...
Just headshot.
Yeah, thankfully, though...
Yeah, I think they get stuck, man.
Now, they do see some building up top, and so they're rotating on over. I like the communication that's coming out from this team. Kind of just want to listen in while they try and finish out this lobby.
Yeah, I got a rocket launcher too.
Yeah, they're shooting down at us. The rockets, watch out. Damn! That long bomb. You got any heals?
Yeah, I got some minis.
Okay.
There's a med kit over there.
Here, I'll get you a potion there.
Hey, they down here. They down here.
Got him.
Oh! I thought that was gonna get him.
I think you did most of the damage, man. I think I just got the kill. Damn zombies, man.
They're everywhere.
All right, well, we find ourselves in a top 5 situation of both Curtis and Upshall alive. Unfortunately, though, Cameron has died and gone back to the lobby. Though we can take a look at Fear Itself. It's a 1v2 situation, and now we get to highlight a little bit of these professional skills coming out of Fear Itself. He's going to jump pad away, essentially reset the fight, and with 20 seconds remaining, as well as another jump pad, it'll give him an opportunity to heal himself up just a little bit before the storm comes in.
Oh, the storm is coming in. That's the most important part. He does not have any bandages or a first aid kit or med kit. So that means the damage that sticks to his health is going to be there. Now, he does have that campfire, and so that'll give him up to full HP. But again, it's a 2v1. Tags him with the heavy sniper, and then follow up with that suppressed AR. But take a look. He's getting pressured now by the Cube Fiends. He's going in. He needs to secure this, but there is his last opponent. If he can finish this off, that's going to be another 150 points added on for Fear the Groove.
The double build's coming out. He's going to try to see if his opponent can jump through. That will force him to essentially build up in battle. 65 damage is going to be able to come out there on the shield, but it might not be enough just yet. Oh, he misses the headshot. He's going to have to be forced to build around and essentially reset the fight. He does have 8 minis, so he can build himself up a little bit more shield if he so chooses. That's an opportunity to do so. Gets shot out. Luckily, though, jumps and redeploys the glider. as now we find ourselves in a very close situation. Lots of damage, but he's going to have Victory Royale. So not only do you have a victory coming for Fear itself, but meanwhile, on the other side, you can see the #1 from Curtis Samuel screens. 2 Victory Royales for both our teams.
But the difference here is that Fear itself, along with Cameron Sutton, Team Fear the Groove, were able to get the objective. And with that, they have a 115-point lead, even though both teams got the Victory Royale.
Let's go.
Huge difference maker, though. Samuel and Upshall game still find themselves with essentially 20 minutes left, or sorry, about 15 minutes left remaining. They don't have to worry too much, so they do have an opportunity to get themselves an extra kill.
That's a good first game.
As now you can see happiness all around as they get themselves loaded into the next game. And it was a little bit slower, it was a little bit steadier, but as the turtle saying goes, they did win the race.
Yeah, I mean, both teams looked great, right? At one point, Team Easy Claps, they realized that they had to readjust their strategy because they were low on mats, and so they moved their way through Dusty Divot, which have a lot of trees, and they were able to farm up that way and get themselves into the late game, while it looked like, because on the other side, Fear the Groove, they didn't find any kind of fights. They were able to take their time, build up a bank of shields, everything, and then get themselves into the late game. But again, it is that trap kill that Fear got that allows them to be put in the lead now. And so, coming into this next lobby, Easy Claps, they have to go for it. They have to.
Yeah, this is a situation where you have to try to get as many traps as you can, get yourself the trap kill. Again, this isn't an unovercomable object. This isn't an obstacle or a challenge, if you want to use the correct nomenclature, that is unreachable. Trap elimination isn't something that's extremely difficult. However, with a lot of the balance changes that they've had with the traps over the year or over the last couple months, you do have to make sure that your opponent is at the right HP, or you can ensure that if it hits once, they're going to be staying to hit a second time.
Yeah, you want at least 2, right? Because of the way the traps work, that if you're stuck in a 1-by-1, if a trap is put on one side of the wall, you run to the opposite end, and the spikes don't actually pierce you. But if you put 2 on both opposite ends of the wall, then it's basically impossible to try and avoid. Now, we do have that Fatal Fields drop once again coming out for Team Fear the Groove. Looks like they are going to really like this now. And again, you mentioned it in the first lobby that this is a really good drop because of how the chests are.
I love this drop. So if you take a look at what you prefer when it comes to Fortnite, some players like to go somewhere different. I am of the mindset that you drop at the same time every single time, so you know your strategy without a hesitation, without kind of a second doubting yourself. This, in my opinion, is a Fatal Fields drop. There's so many opportunities, there's so many chests, as well as an ability to get yourself the cube monsters. Now, you pointed it out here. The audience can't see it, but I see you viciously pointing at the screen. There are other players nearby.
There are other players nearby, and last round, they didn't have anyone contesting them. So this is really going to test how they can work out early on in the game before they're actually farmed up, before they have shields, 200 HP, everything. There were minis, I believe, in the attic that they might have missed, so they should go back and try and pick that up before the other team falls upon them. Right now, we do have, it looks like a Slurp continuing to grow. There's a second one. There we go. Okay, they've got full shields.
Slurps on slurps on slurps. So he's going to be able to get himself up to 75 HP. I don't feel like it's going to be something that he necessarily... oh, wrong button, guys. Keybinds.
Whoops.
Keybinds on the controller. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But now they find themselves in a good situation. On the other side, though, it looks like Curtis and Upshall have found themselves on a broken Kevin, the broken floating islands just over Loot Lake, as they're going to try to pop some long-distance shots and pick up some eliminations now on this pretty hot drop.
Yeah, both teams going for the exact same start that they started off on round number 1 here in round number 2. Again, they are going to be running into someone will Team Easy Claps, and they've got also just plenty of shields now.
And this is the prime example of how much slower the early game is in a lot of instances. If you've already been on the ground for over 30 seconds, there would be 80 to 70 players in the lobby. There's still 90 players in this current lobby server, as Upshall, unfortunately, misses himself a piece of that island, going to force himself to go up a little bit more and essentially reset the fight and find out where this enemy is. As the nosedive comes down, he's only got 16 bullets into that AR, though, so he's going to have to be very careful.
Yeah, he tries a swanton on top of him, but like you mentioned, he's only got half a clip on that AR. And, of course, the crossbow. Now, the crossbow, 40 damage per body shot, so it could work, but do you take that risk against the gun that has a higher rate of fire? Instead, he just resets. Didn't maximize his shields, but that's okay.
Couple shots. It's going to be about 54 damage in white. That's going to force his temmate to actually jump down. So now you can actually see Upshall try to see if he can track that opponent. Instead, he's going to go down to the broken rocks here at the bottom of Loot Lake and try to see if he can get himself a little bit of a better AR. He's going to try to shoot the enemy through the air. Lots of wind speed. He's not going to be able to hit him going at Mach 2.
Yeah, a better AR definitely is one that has more bullets in it. And so even though he traded a common for a common, it had a full clip in it, which we saw. He was in dire straits in terms of ammo. But on the opposite end, oh no, it looks like Cameron Sutton was taken down. So it is going to be Fear once again by himself. But he does pick up that elimination for his team. That's 4 on the board for himself. And now they're continuing to grow this lead.
And this is the kind of decision that we realized a lot of players had to have last week, is do you reset the fight, or do you put yourself in a situation, or reset the lobby and have both players, or do you continue to play it out? It looks like he's actually going to play it out. Has already got himself 4 eliminations. That increases their lead from 475 now to 315. So 160 points goes in their favor. But remember, there is still time left on this trap kill, though it's not a lot. It does look like it's only going to be, what, 3 minutes?
3 minutes and 45 seconds now.
Is it like one objective
but still,
per game?
Yeah, it's
like
only
with the
one
trap
objective
kill?
per game, so they can't stack it upon themselves.
Since we
well,
got
one
it,
objective per
we can't
round.
get the 100 points
This is the
anymore.
first round, and so they've already completed that. It's only up to Samuel and Upshall, Team Easy Claps, to try and get it for themselves. We did see Samuel,
Okay, so,
Curtis Samuel
alright,
did
we
go
got it.
down, but Upshall was able to res him. So they're still, in a full duo throughout this game. So their chances of making it into the late game, getting another victory royale, does increase at that point. Fear itself now is going to be fighting into 2v1s most of the rest of this game. So we'll see how that works out for him. Still, though, they've got the buffer, right? They've got 145 points
traps
that they can use at this point to try and buffer this out.
Yeah, you can take these.
Conversation happened. The only thing they want is a trap, because they know it's pretty close, pretty scary if they don't get themselves one. And taking a look at it, though, it doesn't look like the storm's actually going to move for another 40 seconds. Unless they essentially build up and jump to another spot, there's probably not going to be a high chance that they're able to get it in the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Though, with that being said, it does seem like that they're going to still farm themselves up, play the match out. And let's actually hear a listen in and see if they're having any conversation on whether or not they're going to play risky to try to get this trap before the time runs out.
What's this to do with
I'm gonna fly and look for some people here real quick.
that? I have a slurp over here.
Sweet.
Oh, no, I'll take that slurp instead of this. That makes sense. Yeah, I need to get some mats too.
Alright, I'm gonna land on the campground, just start farming a bit. I need mats. Man, where they at, dude? Can't find nobody.
Can't find nobody.
You got
Once
those
again-
those traps?
Yeah. Yeah, I got them right here. I'm gonna drop them for you.
Okay.
Well, I forgot how to do it. Okay, there you go.
Sweet. Maybe we fly. Maybe we go north a little bit, see if we can find people in Lucky Landing. We're not Lucky Landing. Lazy Links.
I'll definitely find some people. There's all the fun people right around in there.
I know, man. Dude, the games this morning were wild, man. I can't find anybody right now.
They're like, you have a default skin. We don't need to overload you with anything.
Alright, I'm peeping. I'm not seeing bodies at all. Alright, let's fly back to the island, maybe go Pleasant. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go to Pleasant. People definitely have to be in Pleasant.
Yeah.
Right?
Last time it was lit, man.
Who's not in Pleasant? Making my way.
And during that listen-in, we heard that they were going to try and go for that. That's why they put all the traps onto Upshall. But in that minute's time, they weren't able to get it. But that means that that objective is done. Donezo.
Huge deficit now that Curtis as well as Upshall find themselves in. It is 145 points. Now, the first objective, it's closed. You guys can close the chapter on that book. Let's open up a new chapter because the second objective is going to be both players dance together in the disco ballroom while real dancing into the webcam. Extremely capable, extremely doable. It's just more of taking time to go into that lobby and make that happen.
And now because that one is closed, a new chapter has opened, and we've got Objective 3 voting going on right now, so make sure to get your votes in. Get a knock or elimination with the Fiend Hunter crossbow, do a lap around the Paradise Palms track in a vehicle, or eliminate an opponent with a quad crasher, but this time, while a teammate dances on the back.
It is. Now, we are going to do a quick little interview. We're going to talk to Cameron Sutton and It's Fear Itself real quick. I know you guys are in the lobby. How's it going, gentlemen? You find yourselves up 145 points because of that completed objective and that victory royale earlier.
We're feeling good right now. We came out of the gates hot with like 415 points. Couldn't ask for a better game one. We're going to look to complete the second challenge coming in here quickly. We're going to do some dancing on stream. So.
Yeah. Just before you guys get in, I just want to ask you guys dropped twice now at Fatal Fields. Is that the game plan or just because of the bus?
It's been the bus and the game. A little bit of both. A lot of, not so skilled players tend to go to Fatal Fields. So it's usually a good place for easy kills and big points. And it proved to work out game one.
All right, well, guys, we see you're loaded into the lobby, so we'll let you at it. Good luck on the next two parts of it. Remember, this next objective, both players dance together in a disco ballroom while real dancing in the webcam. Can't wait to see your guys' dance moves. We'll see you there.
They are Team Fear the Groove. They are Team Fear the Groove, and it's okay, Bill.
I'm appalled.
It's okay, Bill.
Listen.
It's okay.
Listen. Just because I go to Fatal Fields every game doesn't mean I'm the pleb he's talking about.
No.
All right?
You're the guy that's taking advantage of that, right?
I feel demoralized, demolished, and disintegrated at this point.
Man,
speaking of demolishing right now, we do have Samuel and Upshall.
Why you gotta do me like that, Fear? How you gotta do me dirty like that? All right, done.
Samuel and Upshall right now, they're just farming up, getting some more materials and weapons and stuff from the zombies, or from the fiends at the point. Now, they do need to find more eliminations, though. They are getting closer towards the end game. And you have to remember that Sutton and Fear, they had to reset. So that does open up an opportunity for Team Easy Clap to actually get that victory royale and put another 150 points on the board.
So now we find ourselves with that 130 points. Now is what it's looking like for both of these players. Now, taking a look at what we see again, you're just loving this this broken Kevin at Leaky Lakes, as I was so beautifully corrected, as it is now being called. It looks like Curtis and Upshall want to go there. Now, this is an opportunity for kind of hard rotates.
Yeah.
You can essentially look around, see where the fight's happening on, and essentially drop yourself down because there's a lot of distance that you can cover here with Broken Kevin.
I love that they haven't had to move. They did, rotate their way over to Lazy Links and then had to come back on down. But the circle has been their friend this entire time.
We've had those games before, too, where you start somewhere, you hard rotate about like 2,000 meters across, and then you end up right where you started. As now he's going to find two unsuspecting members of the Quad Crasher. It's going to be immediately on the shots. Not going to be able to get a knock just yet, though, but essentially all the shield is gone on one of the players. He's going to try to build down and around just to say anywhere that you go is all going to be my territory. Lots of damage happened. Unfortunately, Curtis gets down, so that's going to now have to be a 2v1 situation for Upshall Games. He's going to try to see if he can get himself a lot. Has plenty of ammunition. That's going to be one. Now he's only got one more. Tries to avoid the damage. The trap kill is going to have it. Unfortunately, it's not a situation that he can get the objective points, but he's still going to try to have it for the meme.
Baby, come on.
Oh, the guy actually survived somehow. He was able to get some extra shields up. Knocks his way on down, and someone should tell him that. I'm sorry,
I don't think
but
he realizes well that he doesn't get the points for it, though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so.
Still, you get the style points.
Yeah, it's going to be a situation. Oh, no. Meanwhile, he's going to try to get third party. This is not the member that he was facing a little bit earlier.
And he's out of match.
Lots of damage, no materials available, and that's going to be Upshall and Curtis going down. No objectives completed. We're going to be able to talk to them in just a second, but that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, but we do have another reset coming out on the opposite end. So both teams resetting now. That means, of of course, Fear Itself, along with Cameron Sutton, they're not putting more points on the board right now as they're trying to find a lobby. So, you got to look at the bright side of things.
All right, well, now we're going to go ahead and do a conversation. Curtis Samuel and Upshall Games. Guys, unfortunately, you weren't able to get the trap kill. It is now a new objective where both of you have to dance together in the disco ballroom while you're dancing on the webcam. Any plans for the strategy coming into this one? You going to go for the kills, or is it going to be a dance city for you both?
I mean, we got to go for the dance, do we not?
Yeah. You find yourselves down 130 points. So you have 25 minutes left remaining for this objective. Now, remember, it is the disco ballroom that you have to be in. So if you know where that is, you got to go there for your dance moves.
All right. I'm down. We could drop Island and then hit the disco ball refiner. Are you feeling that?
It's going to be the silent agreement coming out of Curtis. Guys, we'll let you get back to it. Good luck to you, and have fun dancing.
What's your favorite dance move in Fortnite?
So I'm definitely feeling the new DJ one that kind of has the floating DJ booth where they're just like jamming. That and the Viking.
Okay.
The
Techno Viking?
The Euro trash is what we like to call it. The
Techno
old school,
Viking. What are you talking about?
It's it's pretty like old school Euro trash.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I can't complain.
Now, it looks like Sutton and Fear, they have gone into another game. This time, they are changing it up. They're going over for the factories. Not flush factories, but just northeast of it. I like this drop a lot.
Well, this is the dance room. It's the club.
Yeah.
They're going to the club. They're going to dance themselves off.
But they got to fight people off first.
They do. They've got to fight people, and that's not going to be good. They've actually find themselves with quite a few duos. So an unfortunate situation for them if they're not careful. And there is, though, a decent amount of loot at this place.
Yeah. And luckily, no one else dropped the into the nightclub. So if Cameron gets himself into here, they could just go ahead and start dancing.
Oh, JK. There's somebody
someone
there. He does have himself a pump shotgun as well as a gray burst rifle. The most common drop in all of Fortnite. Not really, but it's definitely my most common drop. As he's going to be able to hopefully hit himself. The minigun, not necessarily going to be able to. So he needs to kill this and hopefully get himself on. It is the 3 damage headshot. The one that we are most accustomed to.
Oh, what? Threw the first one out, went a little bit wide, got it on the door, and the opponent is going to actually stick around. Let it jump down.
Where does
there he is. All right. No, the rocket launcher kill comes in.
Oh, no.
And he's going to go down, leaving Sutton by himself. They might want to just go for the quick reset here if he's not able to get the resurrection. He's
Don't move, Cameron. Don't move. You're just a prop at this point.
That's crazy.
You're no skin prop. Don't worry about it. Though I do have to say, it feels really bad if you're Fear Itself because you got pumpkin smashed by a pumpkin.
I couldn't tell what was actually coming his way, if the opponent was actually running at him or what. But it looks like Sutton's going to go ahead and rotate his way on out. Picks up himself 18 bullets for that minigun, but that's not enough.
Each bullet does what? 12 to 15, I believe it is, with the legendary. So you hit at least all of them, and you might get
at least all of them.
At least all of them. More or less all of them, and you're probably going to get yourself an elimination.
But now you do have to, of course, contend against at least another full duo. I didn't get to see exactly how many people dropped here at factories, but he spotted out. There we go. They're just going to go ahead and let them reset that much quicker.
And so now taking a look at what we see from Curtis and Upshall, it is yet again to the Broken Island. At some point in the next 36 minutes, I do want to talk to them because I want to see what their strategy behind is that, because you don't actually see a lot of teams do this.
I don't quite remember if to the west of Leaky Lake there is still the factory with the disco balls in there or not.
I don't know if it's there still.
I don't drop there.
I don't ever go there. I legitimately make a conscious decision not to go there.
Yeah, I've never really had to rotate like walking through or by the sides of the lake, right? Before a lot of this mobility came in, you were forced to rotate that way. But now, because of the vortexes and everything, you were able to just completely bypass that. Oh, body shot comes in. Curtis Samuel is brought down low. He does have bandages, but it looks like, Upshall's going to clean that up.
Yeah, his team cleaned it up. He did essentially 94 damage with himself with that green AR, and so it was just a simple little tap coming out of Upshall to be able to help himself out. That's going to be 2 eliminations for them. Slowly climbing, but they still find themselves down 100 points, which is what we've seen. Definitely comeback capable is what we like to call it in a lot of ways, because we saw a couple weeks ago 150-point deficit and still came back.
It is definitely not an insurmountable lead. I believe the match we're talking about is Fire Dragon versus Gubba, where Fire Dragon in the last 15 seconds, by completing the objective with his team, Minka Fitzpatrick, they were able to secure that W. Now we're seeing how important the objectives are here. Now they are rotating out. Will Team Easy Clap also? They're able to multitask a little bit here by getting some of their objectives done for the Battle Pass.
All right, but it's back to the disco ballroom that Cameron Sutton and FearItself have put onto their mind. You can see the ping coming out. They're going to find themselves down and on the mark. Let's actually listen in to Cameron and FearItself, because hopefully they don't find themselves with a lot of people, and we can see some swift and exciting, stylish. That's what we're looking for. Swift and stylish dance moves.
There it is.
Yep. I don't see anybody. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Be that close. Come to the door.
Where's the Orange Justice at? All right. Here we go. Hold on. Let me. I gotta do this real quick. Text, video capture. Nice. Boom.
Where's my guy's dance moves at? There we go. Hey.
Hold on.
Hey.
What's happening here? Oh.
It's the only move my guy got, man.
Hold on.
He's supposed to be breaking it down.
All right. Here we go. Put some. All right, I'm getting up and I'm gonna dance real quick. Are you dancing? You gotta dance
yeah,
too.
Man, for sure. My man only got one dance move. That's crazy. We definitely got to add some more inventory for them. Easy points, baby. That's great.
All right, now let's get the dub. Easy clap.
All right. Yeah, I'm just going to clap for him.
Yeah.
That was the hard commit by FearItself. He has a separate green screen just to get on an Orange Justice, and I like it. That's what I like to see. This is what we need more of.
And it was a commitment, too, because he made sure he got that objective by committing to that dance for like 10 seconds. So, 100 points, well-deserved. That puts them at 575.
That's a lot of points.
Samuel and Upshall on the other end at 435, so they're still trailing 140 points.
So thankfully, though, because Samuel and Upshall have been able to get themselves a couple kills, and Cameron and Fear have unfortunately had to reset in some situations, that lead that we thought for a second was going to be 200, 215 is actually still 140, which isn't far off of what it used to be. Thankfully, that gives them an opportunity to come back. If they can just get to the disco ballroom, that's another 100 points. That puts us with essentially a 3-possession game.
They are on the north side of Leaky Lake right now, making their rotations around, counterclockwise around the lake. So if they make it over to the factories, I believe there should be a dance floor there for them. But instead, they're just going for the eliminations. You see Upshall, he's sitting at 6 right now. That's 90 points he put on the board for his team. But still, again, they have to make up this deficit. They've been sitting here with this deficit for almost 10, 15 minutes now.
You still have to give credit, though. Upshall sitting at 6 eliminations in this match. A huge opportunity. Again, having an opportunity to rotate himself around. It looks like he wants to get a hard rotation. And now we get to see if the club still exists here, right on the edge of Leaky Lake.
Oh, wait, there's no...
No! It's gone!
All right, so they have to go to factories. They have to go to flush factories.
Sometimes the club just shuts down, man.
Yeah, and so
Not
he
enough
realizes
ticket
his mistake, and he's looking for it, and it looks like for the next drop they're going to go for it, because it's not in the circle now. The circle's closing, and it's not in the circle. So they're going to have to finish this game quick, get into another lobby, and it looks like it's going to be a race to the clock to try and get
And they have to be cognizant of this time. That's a huge point that you bring up, Jamerson, because last time they were not cognizant of that time.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to get the trap kill. It was way too much time had already passed. Now, 15 minutes left remaining, 30 in our competition as a whole. They find themselves down 140 points.
Yeah, and we also saw that he overcommitted to the trap, which honestly, he had the high ground against his 2v1 opponents. He could have finished them because he did so much chip damage during the time that they were trying to build up to him, but by overcommitting, he ran out of materials, and then he ultimately went down. That could have been more points on the board for positioning alone.
Okay, so we should be able to play this one out and then do it.
So let's actually
we'll land there immediately next game.
let's actually listen in onto them. I believe that's FearItself that we're hearing. Him and Cameron both have themselves a pretty good strategy. They do have themselves. Oh no, sorry, it's Upshall and Curtis. So let's listen in on Curtis as well as Upshall and see what they are deciding to do. They were talking a little bit about the disco ballroom, but let's see what their strategy changes as they find themselves in the top 30.
Whoa, what happened?
Did it get bugged? There's fall damage is bugged sometimes with gliding, man.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Hey, Upshall chat, y'all find that and clip that. That was insane. That was insane.
You get that chug though?
No, I didn't get it.
All right, I got one.
I was like flying and I ended up,
I got one in inventory. I'll drop one for you. That actually happened to one of the boys during the skirmish, man. Like when they were playing for all the money last weekend, he just randomly died to fall damage.
Yeah, that would have had me pretty upset.
Yeah.
There we go. Who's that? That's you shooting?
Not me. Where's it? Where's the shots at? Oh yeah, southeast. They're flying up to you. I'm gonna chase. They're flying out northwest if you want to come with.
Yeah, I'm gone. I see it now. They land on top of the mountain.
Not sure if these guys are on a team or not.
I headshot one of them.
Got one down.
Oh, wow. Just build up. One of them's one shot. Oh.
Here we
There
go,
you go.
baby.
Yeah, I'm like, I know one of them is one shot. I shot him a bunch.
Yeah, they're both pretty lit. Another chug jug here.
I have one.
Okay, there's more shots actually out northeast if you want to try to go for that. They're fighting right now.
Yeah. Let's go. We need all eliminations.
Now I know every time you leave me in a match, Jamerson, you're just cosplaying and trying to just assimilate everything that Upshall does. You can come if you want, as he decides to go in. That does pick him up a couple extra kills, as thankfully his teammate helps himself out, as now he's going to get another couple downs. Upshall is going on a tear right now.
I mean, he's still on track. He could get a 20 bomb in this game if he keeps up this pace right now. But they are racking up the points, and they're slowly closing the gap between them and the opponents right now. I believe 90 points is the difference between, and they could still go for the objective. That would put them in the lead.
110 points, 115 points.
Oh, one is
No, it's
really
not.
close.
Wow, my math was just as bad as you. You even let me fail
They're
on
at
that one.
95 now.
This is how much.
That's the difference.
This is how close of friends we are. You just let me fail on that one.
That's what friends are for.
It is, as now friends is exactly what Cameron Sutton and FearItself are going to have to be, as they find themselves just coming out of the storm. They find themselves in a top 35 situation, as Upshall gets himself yet another kill. 2, actually. He's up at 10 in this game. The 20 bomb is technically a reality. There are 12 players left remaining. Let's continue to see if we can look on that. Oh no! Curtis uses the pumpkin launcher and doesn't allow for the grapple to happen, but it's still going to be the Spider-Man efforts of Upshall. He's going to try to get one. A nice little flick onto the headshot. 11 kills now. Slowly but surely, they're climbing back in this game.
Oh, Curtis, though, finds more opponents and almost falls off the ledge here, but instead he's going to go ahead and reset himself. He's got the chunk jug, but he's getting chased down by the Calamity, but Upshall, like a true dude, is there to help him out. 18 HP, and he gets finished off, thirsted by the Calamity. Upshall needs to avenge his teammate now. He's going to be in 1v2 situations for the rest of this match. There's 11 other opponents here as he drops down Swantons right on top of him, is able to block that rocket, finishes him off. That's 13 eliminations on the board. 50 points separate our two teams.
We give a lot of credit to the objectives. We give a lot of credit to the placings. But at the end of the day, if you show up, if you frag out, you're going to find yourself in an advantageous position. That now separates 20 points between Samuel and Upshall Games and Sutton and Fear Itself. Fear the Groove versus Easy Clap. As an opportunity arises with 6 players left remaining, that is a lot of points of potential, 75 specific, as well as the 150 that he can get. He's almost guaranteed a top 5 situation. Statistically, there is technically you can have 6 players left in the lobby, so we don't want to credit him that 25 points just yet. Chances are of that being the case, though, are slim to none, as he finds himself having an opportunity here to get himself even more points and even more eliminations.
And there you have it. It's 9 minutes and 50 seconds left on this objective. And so it is feasible for him to finish out this round, get into another lobby, and just drop down onto, of course, the Disco Ballroom northeast of Flush Factories. But he needs to finish this out and finish this out quickly.
And we do have to remember this this lobby count actually ended up a lot lower, a lot quicker than what we had assumed. There's still quite a few circles remaining, so this could be another 4 to 5 minutes. There's a player, thankfully, though, on the top of Modern here at the edge of Pleasant Park. The Q Monsters are doing the best that they can in scouting himself out. He's going to try to see if he can build up and build around. He wants to go ahead and get a early rotate on over into the circle, and we like to see players do this a lot, especially with the mats at his disposal. He can mat up, he can essentially build himself up, and now it's going to be just build up and get those eliminations. Misses the shot, but is still able to down another player. This could be huge for them to help himself out. 112 on the headshot. It's going to be 1 after 2 after another. 2 more kills go in his pocket. 15 for Upshall.
And now that puts him in at least that top 4 range. At least that top 4 range. But it's looking even better for them. Now, we do have the opponents coming on in. That's a great headshot. That's going to start off this fight.
It's a 70 damage headshot. Now he's going to have to make a decision. Oh, he jumps off, repositions. I don't think that was the opportunity that he wanted. Thankfully, though, it will reset the fight just enough. He does have plenty of materials to work around. Remember, there are 3 members left remaining. This is essentially, I believe, a single solo player, so there could be a duo left remaining. Another couple shots are going to be able to come out. He's going to reposition with the glider. Here's a chance for him. He's trying to see if he can get off on his well. He does have a couple grapples left available. If he wants to try to get on, he's going to do just that. Not going to be enough. Isn't able to build. Takes a little bit of fall damage, as now he's going to have to try to see if he can get himself some shots. Lots of damage coming out from the pumpkin launcher.
Yeah, he wasn't able to block it, and that is it. He's going to place 3rd. Still gets a lot of points on the board, and that puts them in the lead now. 645 points for Team Easy Clap. On the opposite end, Fear the Groove are sitting at 590.
Now, with this being said, there is a good situation for Curtis as well as Upshall, because there is still 7.5 minutes roughly remaining for that objective. So that can get them another 100 points and find themselves in a lead. But while all of this is happening, Fear looks to be in another solo situation. Top 10, he gets the down. If he can get the elimination here, that will pull them up to over 600 points. That'll be 605 to be exact. Thankfully, he gets the reposition on the glider, as now he finds himself essentially in a 1v7 situation.
Yeah, and he's got to be careful. Now that rocket was able to allow him to reset this fight, but he gets built up on, and now he's slowly running out of mats. He actually has no more. It's 3-3-1, so he can't build at this point, while his opponent seems to have plenty. He's still building on wood now, so it's just going to be the raw skill versus the high ground. The rocket's taking so much damage, and he will get finished off, and he only placed 6 just outside the range.
Yeah, so that's going to put them now down 40 points. A difficult situation for them. Although 40 points, again, isn't overcomable. We just saw Upshall and Curtis Samuel do a lot of damage, being able to net themselves up. What was it? Upshall had 13 kills at the end of that match. Or no, 15. 15 kills rather at the end. So you find yourself with 15 kills, you find yourself in a good position.
Now, both teams resetting now. There's about 5 minutes left, I believe, to try and finish off this objectives. And so that's what Easy Claps, the team on the right, are going to be going for. But Team Fear the Groove, going for those frags, try to finish out an entire round.
21 minutes left remaining. There is only just over 6 minutes left remaining. When you think about the timer now, Curtis and Upshall have themselves an opportunity We talk a lot about the objectives, we talk a lot about the kills. They're all equally important, but when you find yourself with only 40 points separating the two teams, it's vitally important to get as much of a lead as you can to kind of cushion yourself for that last 15 minutes, because that's where you're going to see essentially Fear and Upshall turn it on and go for those hot drops, go for the tilteds, go for the early hot drops on depending on the bus path, and find themselves in a position to acquire as many quick kills as they can.
Earlier on in that last round, when they found out that the ballroom is no longer at Leaky Lake, I did notice that Upshall was trying to point out where it is. He was actually marking, I believe, Big Chair on the map.
Yeah.
But again, that's a quick adjustment, right? They can move to the southeast to get themselves over there. But oddly enough, somehow FearItself, Team Fear the Groove, are in the lobby first before Team Easy Claps.
So now we're going to see where they decide to ping to drop. I believe
Ooh.
that's a Pleasant Park.
No.
Down
Oh,
2
no,
kills
it's
right
not.
now.
They're going for tilted.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It
And you know
is.
what? Fear likes to go for these drops. He
He does.
likes to go for the frags.
He is. If anybody has watched FearItself stream, himself, Ninja, Tim the Tapman, as well as Dr. Lupo, this is one of their kind of premier squad drops in a lot of ways. They get an early squad wipe into the tilted, and then they find themselves up looted, booted, strapped and suited. As you can see it every time there's tilted, there's plenty of gliders to match.
It looks like I saw 3 other pairs at least. So if they walk away with winners, they could walk away with a possible 90 points here. So this is very important for them to try and win this at this point. Looks like they're going to go ahead and drop on top of Taco here instead of taking a more highly contested area. But let's go ahead and listen in on them in this very tense situation.
We're in. What's that, a pistol?
Some minis around the corner if you want to drink those.
Yep. Okay, let's go. What's this up here? Oh, it's nothing. Okay, what we got down here? Just ammo. We need more than just ammo. We need other.
An accident.
All right, they're in tilted, so they don't want to really talk a lot. But meanwhile, we got to go ahead and give the listen in on the other side. Curtis and Upshall find themselves at none other than Disco Ballroom. It looks like it's going to be empty. It looks like it's going to be nothing but a party. Curtis gets his streamer loot. Let's listen in.
I'll take it.
See, do I have the robot?
Can I go by the DJ booth?
Yeah, man, get in there.
Can I be the DJ? hold on. Huh? Yeah, I'm about to start my dance move. Hold on. Start all over.
I don't have it. All right. Are you going, man?
Yeah, I hit my dance moves. What? You ain't dance yet?
Maybe you go on the thing. Can I do the floss? I'm gonna no, this is gonna be brutal. Dude, how little rhythm do I got right now, chat? How little rhythm? Dude, this is brutal, man.
All right.
I should have put real pants on if I knew I was gonna be standing up to dance. I'm here with my pajamas. Goddamn.
How did that go?
Easy clap, man. Easy points, baby.
Easy clap, easy life, and a failed floss as Upshall and Curtis get themselves their 100 points. That now puts them in the lead, 745 to 665. And
That's 80 points.
you know,
80 points for the lead.
Curtis said that you know, he wanted to be the DJ. Maybe he just needs to be a dance instructor, because Upshall certainly was struggling on getting the rhythm of that floss together.
we know there are classes for Fortnite dancing out there for kids. You might want to sign up Upshall at this point.
Wait,
but
that is a real thing?
That's a real thing.
What?
It's a real thing.
We live in Los Angeles. I want to find it.
We can find one easy. But I like his comment. I would have put on real pants if I knew I had to dance. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's why he didn't have the right pants on.
Hey,
so he couldn't do it.
Just like Fortnite, when you have to have the right outfit, the right kit for your character, sometimes you just need your dancing pants on. Unfortunately, Upshall did not have them, but fortunately, what they did get is at 100 points. Now, on the other side, though, Cameron Sutton, Fear, we can't fail to highlight them because they still find themselves in a really good situation. Fear now having netted himself 4 eliminations as the tilted drop continues.
Yeah, they're just trying to stem the bleeding at this point. They are now down, it looks like 65 points up against Team Easy Claps. And so, again, they're still here in Tilted. There should be another duo waiting around unless, of course, they got taken out by another duo out here. But Fear finds himself in that situation again where Cameron Sutton is down. And so he's going to have to play this out 2v1 if he wants to try and get that victory royale for his team.
All right, now the votes are in. Voting is closed. The decision has essentially been made right about now is objective number 3. Eliminate an opponent with a quad crasher while teammate dances on back. That is one of the hardest objectives that we have had in all of Tuesday Night Fortnite. And what better way, though, to have it than these players who, you know, they already know how to dance, but can they operate that quad crasher?
And the important part there is that your teammate has to be alive. He has to be there right now, though. FearItself, he's played out 2 games as a solo as Cameron Sutton goes down early. But take a look, a knock, and he's going to try and secure this elimination. That's another 15 points on the board. That means there's one more person at least waiting around the corner for him. He's low on mats. He's only got about 14 more walls left, 20 walls left, actually. He's going to try and nade spam up against his opponent here as he wants to secure another 15 points.
And, you know, you think about it, you know, 150 mats, you think that's a lot, but something that Lupo was actually talking about at the fall skirmish that they just had at TwitchCon not too long ago was when these professional players are actually moving through and they're having these kind of repositionings, it costs them 5 sets of materials, which is essentially 50 every time they want to move. Now, that essentially whittles it down quite a lot, though it's not going to be needed. Thankfully, FearItself was able to hit a couple dinks, gets himself now 6 eliminations, though finding himself in a solo situation, which has unfortunately happened more times than not thus far today.
Yep, he's in solos, but he does have, of course, a lot of chests, and most importantly, the shields. That's what I was going to mention, that he was lacking in, found some minis, and he will be able to try and stabilize himself here again. But the thing is, he has to remember that he needs to farm. Again, he's pretty low on mats. He was around 150 for the wood. He needs to farm up right now before anyone else rotates into Tilted, which actually the circle isn't there, so he has to do it quickly as the circle is closing in on him.
Still getting himself some solid materials. Now, because of the direct path of the battle bus, this was essentially quite the hot drop across the map. At Illustrious Island, or the Blank Island, as you were not creative enough to come up with an island nomenclature. There are 26 only players left remaining, though in the span of this broadcast, we find ourselves with just over 12.5 minutes remaining, and his biceps, you guys can't see it, Jamerson's biceps have actually grown an extra 6 inches. So.
Yeah, I'm like the Grinch, except my biceps grew 4 times as big. But there we go. Fear is now rotating on out. There's 25 other players remaining.
Not the Grinch.
No, I meant the Grinch.
What are you talking about the Grinch? It's Halloween.
No, but Christmas is just around the corner. What are you talking about?
You're not crabby, though. You're a happy person.
It's almost November.
Believe in the happiness, Jamerson.
It's almost November. It's basically December. It's pretty much Christmas, all right? What are you talking about?
We should probably go for the kill
So
first.
Easter is right around the corner, right?
Exactly.
All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming. We can talk about holidays later. You guys can see it on the left. Remember, it is Fear, the Groove, and then Team Easy Clap on the right, consisting of Curtis Samuel and Upshall Games. 7-10 to 7-45, respectively. 30 points separates the two teams, and already, though with 12 minutes left remaining, is looking to be one of the closest Tuesday Night Fortnites that we've had yet.
Now, they do have that option to go for that objective, but again, that is one of the more difficult ones to try and go for. First, you need to make sure that whatever drop you survive from as a duo, you find a quad crasher, and you find an opponent who just willingly lays down and allows you to run them over.
Doesn't look like they really care about the quad crasher just yet as they find themselves nice and split. Thankfully, Upshall's able to get himself a down. The elimination will happen in favor of Curtis Samuel. He's going to try to end up knocking out the enemy that gives an opportunity for Upshall to essentially reposition himself. himself. A couple shots, 33 damage happens, but he's going to have to reposition just a little bit because the Q monster is going to help himself up. Nice little jump there. The no skin. See if he can get himself off with the style moves. Thankfully, we're going to swap over now, and it's going to be a beautiful 112 damage headshot coming out for Upshall as he has netted himself 2 kills and have extended their lead to 60 points.
They need to find some more shields. There we go. Minis on there. And by finishing off, of course, the Fiends, they are going to be able to stack that up too. Looks like Upshall does also find himself a slurp, so they have completely stabilized. They're going to be able to get 200 HP as they move into the late game. There's 28 players remaining with only 10 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. So this is going to be a tight race to the finish. Again, it's just whatever state of the game you're in, that's the points you get. If you haven't finished off the game, you do not get the finishing results.
And, you know, we've talked about this strategy every week, and we have to continue to mention it because it does hold itself value in a lot of ways. Do you, at this point, essentially go for these quick resets and get themselves some kills? This has been a strategy that has worked in the past. Go in, drop tilted, get as many kills as you can. Essentially, you know, jump off, eliminate yourself, and then jump back into a lobby to get yourself some eliminations. Clearly, Upshall and Fear have an ability and the fragging capability of doing so, but does it warrant it with 10 minutes left remaining?
Yeah, they're only at the 3rd circle, so it can be quite some time before you get to the end game, and then at that point, you have to also hope that your opponents are nearby. On the opposite end, for the team Fear the Groove, it looks like they're beginning some more eliminations on the board, but Cameron Sutton did go down early again, so they don't have that opportunity to go for the objective here. It's going to be Fear in a race up against Team Easy Claps in a 2v1 to try and get as many on the board as possible. He's put down 6 in this lobby alone, and now he's in a top 18, top 17 situation.
We actually saw, it looks like Cameron Sutton has a groove partner as somebody came out from the back. Not sure not sure who it is, but sometimes you need that emotional support. It looks like we had a long-haired disco man himself coming and hanging out with everybody. As remember, now the objective, 3rd objective, 9 minutes left remaining. It's Upshall, it's Curtis. Let's listen in. They've got the dance moves. Can they get the elimination?
Yeah, looks like it's pretty, these guys seem good. Oh, shit.
Oh, it's my behind us.
On this ramp. Seem, is there anybody right on you?
No. He backed up.
Alright. They're wheeling, man. I don't know, the ATV thing's gonna be pretty hard. We got a lot of good players right now. You can just tell by the way they're building.
Yeah. That's the thing, is when a guy can fly.
And they are not confident in the ATV. They were going to try and go for it, but you saw Upshall call the audible. He said, we cannot go for it anymore.
Yeah, that's the recognition of an elite player in a lot of these instances, is that he can see how well they're building, he can see how well they're rotating, so he knows, all right, we shouldn't go for the memes, we shouldn't go for the objective. 100 point is cool, but we need to try to make it to top 5. We need to try to get a little bit of these extra points. Though he is going to have to play the ultimate game of cat and mouse, as unfortunately he's not able to get the players. Gets a little bit of damage, but it's not enough to get the knock.
Yeah, that redeployable glider just coming in handy for their opponents now, repositioning out of the way. He is tagging them for shields, but that doesn't mean that's going to be damage that sticks, because a lot of people do carry around mini shields with them on their person. So now he's slowly repositioning himself, but he is leaving Curtis behind, and he has to be careful. Curtis doesn't have, of course, the grapple hook, and so he doesn't have that same kind of mobility.
This is an exact replication of what you see when Jump and Jamerson decide to get in the lobby. Jamerson runs and jumps away, and I'm left to kind of fend for myself in a lot of instances. Now, it is going to be Upshall actually finds himself in a good situation, tries to get the damage, it's not enough to get the knock, but oh, he does! Right to the feet, and the bleed effect will be able to take true. That's going to be another elimination for him. Thankfully, though, he will find himself yet another member. Chance to get himself another 15 kill at this point in time. Great job for him. That's going to be yet another. He's going to build us some shield and further up their lead.
Yeah, but quick do-si-do with his opponent and even getting the thirst onto his partner. And so that puts him at 4 now. That's 805 points total currently now for Team Easy Claps. Still 65 points in the lead.
Let's flip over to the ones. Oh, no, that is a heartbreaking moment for Sutton and FearItself. They got 7th place, which means they will not get any extra points because of placing. Remember, you have to get 5th place just to net a minimum of 25. That will then put them down now 80 points, 6 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. This is going to be a really important moment. Let's actually listen in to Cameron and Fear. They're in the lobby right now. What are they strategizing with the last 6 minutes?
Why was that Red Riding Hood the sweatiest player in the game? And, like, she didn't die to any of my freaking grenades, dude, that I would have won. I would have slayed out all 3 of those people. Red Riding Hood is the sweatiest player. No, I don't think that's it. Like, literally the sweatiest player ever. Seriously, just like sweat fest.
All right, we're back. Let's go.
Yo, Brooke, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you. Welcome to the Fearless. All right, we're down 95 points.
Okay.
We got 5:45 left, which isn't enough time to get a win. So I have to get like 9 or 10 kills. 9 or 10 kills, which is doable.
Killing spree. All right, let's go.
And there it is. That's the reality. They just have to go for the eliminations. And he was so close to at least securing another 25. Finished at 7th place in the last round.
Those Red Riding Hoods, man. It's all about the Red Riding Hoods. You hate to see it. You hate to see them. Though, like you said, 90 points, 95 points stand between victory and defeat. And an incorrect prediction for you, Jamerson. Don't worry, I'm keeping track. But on the other side, we're seeing Upshall continue to extend their lead as he gets himself yet another elimination. Now that puts them 110 points ahead. 4 minutes left remaining. It's crunch time.
It is crunch time indeed, and they're getting so much closer to even furthering and securing this victory. They're so close now to getting that top 5 at least, getting more points on the board that are not possible for Fear the Groove by the simple virtue of the clock. And so now it is just a race against the clock here. If someone goes down, it's going to be very bad for Team Upshall and Curtis Samuel.
So now we find ourselves with 3:30 left remaining. Shield is going to be picked up here by Upshall. Again, this is the advantage that Fortnite Mirrors brings. You can build yourself up some organic shield just by taking down those cube fiends or cube monsters, as they like to call them. 11 players left remaining in the lobby. There are 9 potential eliminations that Upshall and Curtis can add to their tally count at this point in time. Remember, they are up 110 points. It's going to be a difficult situation for them to be able to do so, but you can see the aggression. This is what I like to see from Upshall. They know they are in the lead, but they know that they still need to get themselves a couple extra eliminations to make it. It's now, hello? It's a skinny tree. It's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to hit those hitboxes.
The real enemy is the hitbox at this point. And honestly, now he's out of grapples, and he's been playing very aggressively. The entire time we've seen him in the last 75 minutes, the last 70 minutes, he's had a grappler in his hands. And so now he doesn't have that anymore. That was one way that he was able to kind of reset a lot of fights. But no. Samuel has gone down. It means there's 7 other players in the lobby. That means 5th is not secured for them. But right now, we don't see any additional points being added on by Fear the Groove.
Let's actually go ahead and take a look, though, on the other side. I do want to see, this is a closer situation, but with the fact that Sutton and Fear find themselves down, this could be an opportunity to see some of these frag-out mentalities that Fear is really good at. He actually decided to drop Tilted. A nice little quick build edit is going to allow him to get another elimination that will now give him 755 points, thus putting him 80 points behind. It is not as many eliminations as you might think. Good opportunity, though, as they are still quite early in the Tilted Towers drop. Any extra kills to get themselves something good would be beneficial.
It's the last 2 minutes remaining, but Fear had to reset himself. Actually knocks himself away with that grenade. He does find some zombies here, but he has to be careful. He's almost out of mats again. He's only got 2 full walls, and he's coming up against opponents now. And someone's chasing after him who's got shields.
That's essentially 3 players, though, that he can have an opportunity. A one-pump headshot to the dome, though, is going to take down Fear itself. They're going to have to hurry up and get re-queued really quickly, but I don't know if there's enough time.
There's 1:30 left, but as we go to the other side, Team Easy Claps looking to secure this victory as we have Upshall going on in against his opponent now. Drops down onto him, but he has lost track of him. He could be in this 1-by-1. Does spot him out, but he's taking his time. No, he just backs away.
In the meanwhile, Curtis, you can hear in the background, is giving his best Daquan impression. Come here, boy! Trying to see if he can get him. For those of you that are huge Fortnite fans, definitely make sure if you haven't already checked out TSM Daquan, because he certainly knows how to keep things interesting. And now it's going to be all about the flashy points and seeing how much of a lead can he have in padding himself the stats. A nice couple dinks is going to come out there by Upshall. We find ourselves with 45 seconds remaining, and it is all but over for the members of Easy Clap.
Come on, end it on that Royale. There are 3 players remaining, 1 currently knocked. If he gets the thirst, that's 15 more points. The circle's closing on him. There we go. It's a 1v1 and there's 30 seconds left.
26 seconds left remaining. I don't think he's aware of how much it is, but he's going to get a little bit of damage. It's not going to be enough to get the elimination just yet, though. Remember, this is a 1v1 situation and an opportunity for Upshall to get one more victory royale before the end of the timer. 13 seconds left remaining, but we don't want to pull ourselves away from the timer just yet because we need to make sure that we see this victory royale. It is all but over potentially for Upshall as he's going to be pressing, building, doing everything he can. The timer is up, but it's going to be nothing but style points available for him to potentially get it. The double traps will happen. There's nothing he can do. The claps, the let's go, the victory royale happens for Easy Clap.
They live up to their name, Easy Clap emoji. They do it, and they do it in style. Now, they're about 45 minutes late on the trap objective kill, but they got it. Hey, eventually.
Better late than never. My prediction is correct. Ha-ha. What do you have to say about that? Let's actually break down that. What do you have to say about that match?
You know what? I'm very impressed. These were gamers. They came to compete. And you know what? That's the thing. That's what unites us all, right? Whether it be athlete or gamers. You just want to compete and you want to be the best.
It is. Well, if you want to be the best, you're also going to be able to make sure that you're going to want to wear the best. Let's go ahead and check in with Fanatics, the delightful website that is making all of this possible.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
That's right, Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players that you love. Everything and everything. You can get yourself a Steelers jersey. You can get yourself everything. But you don't want a Steelers jersey because you want a Panthers jersey because it's going to be the winners of Curtis Samuel as well as Upshall games that walk away with the victory dub.
Man, and they really did it in style. They weren't able to beat the buzzer to get the victory royale, but
you still got it.
Yeah.
Oh, they gave him the points. So we're hearing from League Ops in the back. They still get themselves the points. He puts himself in a 1v2 situation.
That's 150 points.
That's 150 points. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. We'll get the final score tallies for you guys in just a couple seconds. But while we wait, let's go ahead and actually talk to both of the teams. We've got the 2 different teams. It's going to be Fear the Groove as well as Easy Clap. Easy Clap walks away with the victory. Curtis, Upshall, how you guys feeling?
Oh, man. Good, man. I'm looking forward to that video of me doing the floss being shared all over my social media.
Hey, man, you should have worn the right pants. That's all I'm going to say.
You just needed the right pants, right?
Dude, exactly, man. I didn't have my dancing pants on. If I had my dancing pants, things would have gone different.
That's crazy.
Now, flipping it over, though, Cameron, you and Fear, you guys put some effort into those last few matches. Fear,
for sure.
You know, you found yourself in a couple solo situations, and it was frag after frag. What was kind of going through you guys' head there in that last 5 minutes?
You know, we were looking at the score. We were peeking at the score, and we saw that they caught up and they kind of took a lead. So we started dropping hot the last couple games because once they took the lead, you know, we had a really good first game, but then we kind of hit a lull.
Then we
switched up the strategy a little bit, but then I just ran into some tough players in like 2v1 situations, and we had a blast anyways, but it was a lot of fun.
For sure.
On the opposite end for Team Easy Claps, I mean, it looks like you guys had a game plan dropping Leaky Lake. What was the idea behind that?
I guess it was just there's usually a lot of people landing there. Although the first couple of games there was actually not that much, but it's a really easy rotation out, right? You can fly pretty much anywhere you want, then like based on flight path.
All right. Well, guys, congratulations again to you. The final score totaled at 1,045 points in favor of Samuel and Upshall games. Easy clap, as you guys called it. 745 for Cameron Sutton and Fear Itself. Good luck to you guys next week in your Thursday night football matches. I know you've got the Steelers versus the Panthers. Hopefully, we can have a 1v1 situation that we saw here on the game. You guys lined up against each other on the field next week. Good luck to you guys.
Most definitely. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
1,045 points.
1,045.
That's a lot of points.
We haven't seen that kind of scoreline since actually week 1.
Yes.
It's been a while. We've had triple digits for the last few weeks, and it wasn't, since Skeptic was just carrying, I believe, his Jay Ajay throughout those matches where they were able to get about 1,000, 1,100 points in their match.
Now, we come to the end of week number 5.
Yeah.
We have been doing this now for over a month, if you think about it, 35 days if you want to think about specifics. What are we thinking now at the end of this? Because we've seen a lot of different trends. There has been only a couple common trends in a lot of ways, but this week I think was very different than what we've seen in the 4 iterations of this prior.
Yeah, it did slow down. Right, in terms of eliminations, it slowed down a lot. But this is one of the more consistent matches where both teams were getting very high up in of course, their placements. And so those points did matter, right? Getting the 150 for the victory royale. But of course, again, it's coming down to these objectives that are chosen by you guys at home that are allowing a lot of these teams to try and make these comebacks. We saw the dance really came in. That's where they kind of shifted the momentum, right, in favor of Curtis and Upshall. Before they were down by about 100 points, but once they got the objective, once they got the victory, they just zoomed on ahead.
Well, we've seen everything from crazy dance moves to a cuddle team leader and a bulging biceps that you have from Jamerson himself. That's going to do it here. That's going to do it for week number 5 of Tuesday Night featuring Fortnite, presented by Fanatics. Remember, this is happening each and every week in preparation for the following week's Thursday Night Football match. That's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys for week 6 later on next week.